Bam, we're back at it.
I look like my cousin Cody in our intro.
Whatever.
Those petty genes are strong.
Mm-hmm. So we got your mom in out for a week?
Yep, 2 weeks. Sorry for that, but yeah,
No,
at least 2 weeks.
totally fine. Love it. That. Are you going to tell people what breakfast beer is about and why it's breakfast beer?
Yes. So whenever we would go on vacations or in the mornings, you would go out to eat breakfast. You can order a mimosa. You can order a Bloody Mary. And Ken wanted to know why you couldn't order a beer. I mean, it's the same. It's alcohol. It's the same. So he started the joke that he was ordering his breakfast beer. And
Sure.
so that became a running joke with our best friends forever. And so now he has his breakfast beers. He doesn't every day, just whenever he's traveling or
When
on
we're-
vacation or whenever we're here on Friday mornings.
So last week I had a KC beer. It was called the Coach. It was one of these that had the yellow around it. This week it's called Pure Pills. It's a traditional German style beer. And if you know me, and I've heard us say before, is I'm totally a light beer, almost all water. But these ones they brought by were actually a different and taste very good. A little more stout than I'm used to.
I'm sure.
And for everybody's knowledge, this is what she typically drinks. This
It's
is
my favorite.
you gonna drink it?
Mm,
Probably not.
Maybe in a minute.
Maybe. So what did we do this week? Babe?
This week, well, this last weekend was 4th of July. And we have a place. My parents actually retired at Lake Pomme de Terre.
Sure.
And so they've had a place down there for 25 years. And we have purchased a place down there right next to them because our family is huge. My sister's got 11 kids. And then we have 4 boys. And then we, of course, they're getting older and they're starting to multiply. So we bought a place down there. And so every year we have a party. We call it Party at Petty's. That is my maiden name. Anyone from my hometown, Party at Petty's has existed for well more than 25 years. We're looking at 40 years of Party at Petty's. But this was our 7th annual, I believe. And for the first few years, we did a karaoke with some local friends down there. And then last year and this year, we actually brought Bo and the Beards, the local band from here down to play for us.
Yeah.
And they are a blast. Them as people, them as performers. They won the best of the best of Leavenworth County as the best local band.
True.
They are a riot.
Yeah. And it's because they have a mixture of just music.
Yes.
You know, it's not just one set or just their own stuff. They mix in rap and hip hop with country. And I think last year was probably our largest. Besides this year, we probably had like 100 people out there last year. This year, about the same, close to it.
Those two.
We do fireworks, and then afterwards, it's just a huge party. One of our friends brings a pogo stick,
Yeah.
and they lose their mind on it. So I would show you what our daughter-in-law videoed last year for the pogo stick, because this year she hasn't put together a video compilation, but we'll show you what.
I did way better this year than I did last year. So
True.
this year's going to be a little bit better. Here's me. Here's me again.
And for anybody to be able to pogo without
Our
hands,
hands. Yeah.
that was just wild. And
It was a lot of fun. And so we brought it back again this year because it was so funny. It was out of nowhere. Like we had no idea that was coming. But now the band actually was like, they asked, "You have the pogo stick, right?" And I was like,
gotta
"We
bring it."
do. We sure do." So
we got to bring pogo stick from now on. Why the lake? What do you like about the lake?
I like that we can unplug. So Ken works all the jobs and he is on his phone working a lot, which I love and appreciate because it provides for our family. But I love when we're down there, the service it's getting way better, unfortunately. There's more people with Wi-Fi. For the longest time, there wasn't even Wi-Fi down there. If your phone didn't get service, then we didn't get service. So, and so we're just away from everyone and everything and getting to enjoy ourselves and be present. And our kids come down. We have raised lake babies. I was a lake baby, so yeah, I like to go so we can step away.
The step away piece is I used to tell everybody at work that when I'm down at the lake, you cannot reach me because there's no service. So they kind of just step away until I tell them I have to get to the middle of the lake to answer calls or reply to emails or text messages. So it actually works out pretty good for me. And it does allow me to break away. One of the stories that I was telling yesterday had to do with the lake is when I got out the Army, I had this huge stack of pills that I had to take, like, I don't know, there's probably 12 of them a day. And then when I got out, I used to work out at Kansas City. And then one day I forgot my pills and then I started shaking that day and I had to have you come bring me pills, right? Well, at that point in time, I was like, man, I knew something was wrong. Well, probably about a month later, it happened again. And I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong. Tell like fiend, you're addicted to pills that the military makes you take. So then probably the next weekend or something close after that, I forgot my pills as we went to the lake. And so I went all 4 days and came back on Monday and said, you know what, no more pills. But I was probably drunk those 4 days.
Not all 4 days.
That kind of
Not
got
all
me
4
through.
days.
Maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe some liquid medicine.
Yeah.
But then since then, I realized I didn't need the pills. I just let my body hurt. And every once in a while, I take some Tylenol and call it a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that is what keeps us together, like recognizing things like that. We have a really good guest coming on today. It's Joe Chenelly. He's the executive director of AMVETS. He'll be on in about 13, 14 minutes. But recap from last year, we told you about why we purchased Symphony to keep people here and make sure employees who are still had jobs. We told you about the picture from behind. All those individuals are one of the family, are part of this thing, and they help us throughout. We made fun of some Facebook posts, but I think we're going to do again today. But I do want to take a little bit of time and talk about more in depth to the businesses around us that we want to support. It's a large factor in Carly and I's decision making on who to support. Like we could go with waste management to pick up the garbage, but we chose to do it local. We want Brothers Disposal to do it. We could, that joke that was out there last week. All their food is from Cisco. We could have be with Cisco. It's not. It was before, but we chose to have someone local with Cabuzos that has 90% of our food come in, and he'll be on the podcast next week to talk about some stuff. But we encourage everybody to realize that we own it. We don't manage it. Carly, you have a full-time job.
Yes.
I have a few full-time jobs. And when we're in here, we're probably customers too. Just realize when we're here, we're customers. I think that we do most of the background work on Mondays at a meeting, and then general managers keep us updated as to when things break, because that crap always breaks. And it never fails. Something's broken. Then you got to buy something. And I think today we got a new machine coming in too. So, but that stuff never fails.
Yeah. For sure.
But one of our main points today that we wanted to talk about was pricing. Like, why, as a small business owner, do locals get upset when prices change? Why do you think that?
I think they get mad at us because we are local and we're reachable and they're
You're saying
kind of we're attainable. Like you can, like McDonald's. Who owns McDonald's?
Yeah.
They're usually franchised, right? But the franchise owner 9 times out of 10 isn't local. I mean, I think the Culver's one is, which is amazing. So then they help out the local community more than what some of the other. But like, you don't get mad. If Wendy's gives me something other than ketchup on my burger, which is a catastrophe in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't go in and ask to talk to the owner, or I don't go on social media and blast the owner.
Yeah.
Or I don't even do the manager, but I get We'll just
You
that's
say that?
getting me on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to say that. So, but
Um, but back to the prices because she's about to go on a
yes,
tangent about
yes,
stuff. So, for instance, everybody here goes through fast food restaurants and their prices change fluid, right? Nobody cares. They say it's economics, it's the business, it's the motto. I go through McDonald's or Wendy's or whoever, right? I don't look at the prices. I order what I want,
yeah.
and then I move on, and it might be higher or lower, but whatever, right?
Same with gas.
Same with gas.
You don't get mad at the local gas station because their prices changed. Their prices changed because the cost of gas changed.
Yeah. Well, and to our factor as owning restaurants is that whenever gas does go up, guess what happens to us? We get a surcharge.
Yeah.
That gas is high, you guys have to pay more. The things that people don't realize in the background of how costs go up. You know, when you go to Dillon's, you're dating milk is $7 or eggs go up, right? You can complain about it, but you still buy the eggs.
Yeah.
Right. But
And
how
if they're-
come?
Yeah, and if they're going up at the grocery store, then they're going up for us here.
Yeah.
So then we have no profit. Then we're not making any money.
Yeah.
Because we're spending it all on the food and selling it at the same cost. So
It's
business 101.
business 101. But I can tell you that since we purchased this place about a year and a half ago, I don't know, November 24, I don't know what those months out, but we didn't change prices until March of 25, one time.
And some of them went down. Not every price went up. Some of the stuff went down. We made it even numbers.
Yep.
So something might have been $8.94 on the old menu. Not joking. There was a lot of fours on that menu. And we made it $9.
Yeah.
Or we made it $8, depending on what the cost was at the time.
Yeah.
So,
we modeled it after how much it actually cost us.
Yeah.
So if it costs us this much and you have to have labor, and you have to have overhead because you have to come into a place to eat, right? I have to pay for that as well. But we didn't change much of that. We actually just did away with things that weren't selling the damn lobster, crab legs.
crab leg.
Did away with the crab legs. Still get crap about that. Did away with the turkey bagel. It was just costing us a ton of money.
Yeah.
But those are actual business costs and decisions that we make. We just updated our menu after 18 months one time. And, were we a little slow to do that? Yes. Over the last year and a half, I can tell you prices of things have went up probably 10 to 12%. But our fees we didn't change our prices until now. And a lot of it didn't go up too much. It's like we're trying to become more efficient to help the community out and understand why things cost so much. So when you're going through those drive-thrus and you're buying gas, costs more, just know we don't have the ability to fluctuate like that. And when we do, don't get upset about your local place that has to do it just as much to keep up with the environment as well. You still have bills and stuff to pay and employees to help out and just people to thank all around.
Community
Yeah.
to support. And
Yeah, we don't say, oh, guess what? Who do we get our beer from? The place down the street, Broadway. Used to be Broadway Liquor. It was Stanley. Our whole goal is to support local, and we don't say, hey, guess what? I don't want your stuff anymore because prices went up. No, you still want to support. We don't tell Eleanor not to come fix our stuff because prices went up. No, we still have to do that. There's a lot of things that are incorporated with owning the restaurants, and it's just I don't think the community is aware of how much goes into it.
Right. I know. I wasn't as aware before we purchased it. I was, but I wasn't, only because.
And for the people out there that just assume business owners have a lot of money, I can tell you the rule of thumb is you can have one business, one restaurant. It'll pay just enough to break even, if not lose, right? You can open a second one. You might make a little bit of money. And then once you start franchising or having 3 or 4 or 5, that's when you actually have the ability to make money and change and lose over here and not adjust prices too much.
Right.
But I will just think about that when you walk into a local restaurant and say, oh, okay, prices went up or some things happen
Yeah.
to make it better. So I call it the McDonald's rule. You don't bitch about McDonald's when you go through there. You still buy your double cheeseburger or your Big Mac or whatever, and you move on through and something's wrong in the bag. By the time you get home, you know that's your fault for not checking.
Right. Yeah.
But if it is, take it back. You take it back in and they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So do that with us. Do that with the management here. If something's wrong, take it to them. They'll fix it. Too easy.
give us an opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity to do so. When you think about that, local businesses that support us, we got Growness. Two is that 3 doors down?
Mhm.
And when things break around here, they go there. Our people here, the maintenance people go there to support them, to bring things in. So we are totally, truly appreciative of Growness being there for us, especially since we started all the remodeling when we purchased this place, and then all of the things that come together as building a community effort. And I think that starts with just working with your local partners and saying, "Hey, we appreciate what you do and help us, and we'll support you." So just remember that we will support our community, but you have to support us too in the management here. So we're going to take a small break. And we're going to let Joe in, and he's going to talk about his background and what he does in his life and some good food that he loves tasting. And we'll see you later. Joe, you there?
Yes. How are you?
Welcome. I am wonderful. How you doing?
Very nice to meet you. Was that Harley?
Nice to meet you.
Carly.
Carly. Okay. Very nice to meet you, Carly.
Yes. Yes. And that is a great background.
We'll be there.
Yeah. Yes, we will be there.
So, Joe, why don't you tell everybody about yourself and your background?
Sure. So my name is Joe Chenelly. I'm the National Executive Director of AMVETS, organization with about 250,000 members across the United States, open to any member of the United States military and any veteran who has served honorably. Marine Corps veteran myself, combat veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Been in veterans advocacy for a little over 20 years now. I've been a journalist before that, just always wanted to give back, wanted to continue serving after leaving the military.
So how long was you in Marines?
I was in the Corps for 7 years.
7
From
years.
98.
So after your time in the Marines, what did you do?
So when I was growing up, I always wanted two things. I wanted to be a Marine and I wanted to be a journalist. And so when I left the Marine Corps, I became a reporter. I had done reporting while I was in the Marine Corps as well. The Marine Corps trained me how to be a journalist and a photographer. So I went on to work for USA Today, Military Times newspapers as well. And eventually, unfortunately, I became disenchanted with the way that corporate media works. A lot of that, I went into journalism thinking I was going to be able to continue advocating for my fellow veterans and for our military and, keep the American public informed. And there were some barriers there. Not saying it was terrible. I think we were able to do some good things, but then I learned about AMVETS actually and became AMVETS communications director back in 2005 and have absolutely loved all the opportunities that I've had to serve since then.
Good. So the premise of this is that we talk about food and drinks and some good experiences because as being the executive director of AMVETS, I know you travel all over the world, right?
Yes, that's true.
So
nothing's going to beat the 7 months of MREs I had. So,
that's the truth, right? Because what was your favorite one? The spaghetti?
yeah, I'd say spaghetti, but anything that had the jalapeno cheese.
Anything, because you'd heat it up and it melt. Did you use a little bottle of Tabasco?
Of course. And actually, I ended up bringing home about 100 of them filled with sand from Afghanistan. So great dual purpose. They're great souvenirs too.
They are. A few months back, I guess he's rest in peace. His name's Charlie. He kept those things in his pocket and his things like where did you? I guess you can buy them.
It was from a restaurant we had gone to.
Oh.
And you had ordered oysters.
That's right.
And Charlie, all Vietnam vet, would travel in this juice and stuff. And he knew the kid liked it. So they didn't get juice. So he put it in his pocket. And later he said, "Here, you need some."
Yeah. Just out of nowhere. Here you go.
Well, that's great looking out for you.
I know.
So I am drinking a KC beer, pure Pilsner. Joe, I'm a light beer drinker by nature, but they came down and did a watch party for us. A couple watch parties. And then I see they made me taste it because I wasn't going to. And actually, I felt like you should have some of these every once in a while. So when you're in Kansas City, I don't know if this KC beer is everywhere, but Dunkel is, right?
I have not had the pleasure yet. I'm hoping to come down to Kansas City sometime in the next few months. My son lives there now. I'll definitely try a 6-pack or two.
There you go, or two. Well, you should tell him about it since he's in the area.
I will. Yeah.
So we talk about favorite foods, and Carly and I have a few great local ones. But of course, you're not from here. What is some of your best local foods that you routinely go and eat?
Yeah. So I live in Rochester, New York. But as you said, I travel all over the place, but nothing is ever as good as what home cooking is, right? Two things that I think we're known for here. Well, three if you include buffalo wings, right? And Buffalo's only an hour away. And of course, you can get great buffalo wings all over the place now. But we have two things. One, our pizza, Western New York pizza is something different, and I think it's underrated. It's a thicker pizza, a little bit of a richer sauce. I don't think, I love Chicago pizza, and Detroit pizza is kind of like soup. New York pizza, of course, can always be good, but that thicker pizza just really tastes like home to me. But the other thing we have that's very unique, and the Food Channel and things like that have done some stories on it. We call them garbage plates. It's about 3 pounds of food. Used to be very inexpensive. Of course, with inflation, nothing's really inexpensive anymore. But it was a great 2 a.m. type of meal, and it started off outside the colleges. And so you take a plate. Usually, it's a paper plate. You fill half that plate with macaroni salad, cold macaroni salad. The other side with home fries, and then you throw a couple burger patties on top of it, and then this simple ground beef, and it's hot sauce, and it's poured right on top, and then put ketchup, and then you mix it all together. So you've got this hot and cold, and it doesn't look good, but it doesn't sound good. It's very unhealthy, obviously, but
Very.
2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you need something to absorb all of that KC beer.
There you go.
it's the
You
perfect
mentioned two
hangover.
things there: hamburger and ketchup. That's her favorite thing because that's really all she eats.
Yeah. That's not all I eat.
Well,
but
on your hamburgers,
yes. Oh, yeah.
it's just ketchups and the patty itself. So she's a weird
I'm
hamburger
picky.
eater. When I go for a hamburger, I want everything on it. I want as much as you can get.
I would never compare our barbecue up here to someone, especially in the Kansas City area or,
True.
in your region of the country. But we have Dinosaur Barbecue, which is a really, really good barbecue, and especially for the Northeast, and has a sauce that's being sold all over the place now. And they have commercialization of it hasn't ruined it.
I want to get back to the garbage plate, something that we should probably look at having here. I bet people would love that. Maybe not. I think they'd love it at lunchtime, not just 2 a.m. It's make it affordable nowadays. So are you the type of person to complain on Facebook about restaurants, or do you fix it while you're there?
I'm a pretty optimistic guy to begin with. So, I'll address, if there's something, I'll address it in person there, or, I'll vote my feet. Obviously, if I have a bad experience, I just won't go back. I never want to take it out on the servers or the managers or anything like that, because I know their jobs are very hard. I used to work in restaurants myself when I was younger, and I know that it's a thankless job, and typically the only time they hear something is when someone's unhappy. But if I'm posting online about a restaurant, I'd say it's always been a positive thing, right? I'll just keep it to myself if I'm not happy. Others will figure it out.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Carly and I battle here locally. And we tell everybody, we don't work here. We pay people to manage it. And when you're 99% of the time, we're here probably as customers too, And for some reason, we can't fathom that or understand why locally people want to talk to the owners about things. Let me go in there and talk to the owner. I'm like, we're not there.
I can't fix it because I don't know how to fix it. So you're going to have to go into the manager.
If there's something wrong, talk to the managers. So I don't go, it's a running joke. We don't walk into McDonald's or Jiffy Lube and say, let's talk to the owners. Never. We had some mess up some food. It happens all the time, honestly. And we don't go on Facebook or social media and post. If there was an issue, like the other day, we ordered pizza, got back from the lake, and I love pizza. Pizza is one of my favorites. All of it came wrong, but still ate it. It was still good and didn't complain about it.
You should, of course, correct things or ask for things to be corrected whenever you're at a restaurant or something. I get that 100%. And providing feedback. If you have it, it's like, let the restaurant know. I have this, but what my problem is that a lot of this stuff that goes on social media is personal attacks. It's not about the actual person or the actual service. So
I just find this stuff hilarious sometimes, Joe. It's like, okay, people just want to get online and complain 90% of the time. And it's okay. We'll just address it. So moving on from your local stuff, you travel a lot. Do you have to typically go to some of their local, or do you find a space that is typically known, like franchise, Longhorn, McCormick and Smith's, or when you travel, what do you typically try to go eat?
Yeah, I like Longhorn, but I end up at a place like that too often. A lot of my travels in and out quick. If I have time to be able to do any research or talk to anyone local, I'm always 100% want to go find a locally owned, something that can kind of encapsulate or summarize the culture in that area. We have such a big, beautiful country. Like so many different things out there. I want to experience as many different flavors as possible. So I'm always looking for. And I like getting a little further off the beaten path too, right? Like there might be a great place, but it's also on the main strip. If I'm going it can get further into the neighborhood, I like the holes in the wall.
That's great. I
Us too.
Yeah, we do too. So we have been trying numerous places lately. Well, we always have though, right? We always go different places and try new places. We're not typically a Longhorn place, but we do go to Yard House, right? I think that's probably our number one place that we go. That's a routine. That's not a local place, right? But besides that, say you were to come to Kansas City, you'd say, hey, one high-end place, one local place. What do you think you would say? What would you ask us to take you to?
Well, I think Kansas City is known to have the best barbecue in the world.
Yeah.
And I've been to Kansas City once and only got to eat one meal there. It was barbecue, and it was among the best barbecues I've ever had, for sure. I'd like something that's kind of mainstay. I wouldn't mind if it's a tourist trap, right? If it's someplace that everybody who goes to Kansas City knows this is a can't miss. But I'd also really want to go to someplace that nobody but the locals really know about, And it could be in the back of a gas station for all I care, right? If they're
But
making brisket, sign me up.
Isn't that where Joe's? Is that big?
Yeah. So Oklahoma Joe's barbecue was attached to a gas station, and it's one of the best well-known Kansas City barbecue places. But our favorite actually is Q39. There's a few locations locally that we really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
So
when you come to town, we'll take you to Q39, and I will tell you that it is the best barbecue in the area. We've been to Jack Stacks. It's all good. Don't say it's not good. It's all good. But Q39 just has, I don't know, they're award winning. They've had, it just has a better atmosphere, better food taste. And when I go to, what is that? The one that yells at you from the minute that you walk in the door? Gates Barbecue. I felt like I was back in the military, day one of boot camp, and everybody starts yelling at you from when you walk in the door. They're like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And you're like, so brought a little bit of back on me from being in the military. I'm like, and when you get up there, they're like, you wanted this? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, well, what did you want? I'm like, I wanted the 19 times I said it on the way up. That's what I wanted. The same stuff. I didn't want it changed when I got up here. But I think it's just their experience. That's what they do to keep people talking about it and want to hear it and bring people on. I know that the other place, like the high place I would probably take you to would be Eddie V's. I love that place. Their steak is really good. And I think that is like, they have like 8 or 9 on like each coast, Kansas City, California, I think there's one in New York. Definitely there's one in DC, but that's another place that I take people to when I bring clients in. Eddie V's and Q39 are my 2 go-tos. What else am I missing on that, baby? You can still talk. They can still hear you.
Where else do we like to go? Yeah, you love Eddie. Finally made him take me there. He would always take his clients, and I'm like, I'd like to go.
The funny story about that is we had a client come in. My son works for us, and I took him, but didn't take Carly, so I had to hear that for a while.
Well, yeah, like you haven't never taken me, but you're taking the kid, whatever.
But they have this, to me, it's the huge seafood platter, seafood tower. It starts, it has 3 different levels, and they bring it in, it's so big, and basically you have to move it around, ask people to send you stuff, or twirl it.
Yeah, can't speak around it. Yeah. You have to speak through it.
Yeah, you're looking through people through the hose to try to get food, but that's why I love that stuff.
So, Ken, that's in your area?
Yeah.
It's at downtown Kansas City, which is about 20 miles from us.
Yeah, 20 miles.
So I have a hot take, right? And this might not be popular for an region in the middle of the country, but honestly, I don't typically trust seafood when I'm 1,000 miles away from the ocean.
You-
That makes sense.
that does make sense. I don't know what to say about that, but you're right.
I grew up in the Midwest, so this is kind of all I know. I didn't know fresh sea. In fact, I didn't eat seafood until I was an adult. But so yeah,
Sure. I love
crappie,
catfish.
something like that. Yeah.
And the truth is, when she was adult, she didn't eat seafood until we got married, and it was shrimp.
I had eaten shrimp before I married you, but not very much. And now I've tried all the things. We went to Seattle on a work trip and we went to this restaurant. I didn't even know what it was called. It overlooked Mount Rainier and we sat at this big fancy table and they brought out a crab leg that was like the size of my arm.
Yeah.
It was huge. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to try crab, I feel like this is the crab I should try and it was okay. Like if I was on a deserted island and there were crab, I mean, I could eat it, but
I'm
and
not sure that's quite
sustain
the
my.
endorsement. I'm not sure that's really endorsement there.
Yeah, is it like
I just didn't love. It was a little fishy for my taste, so I'm like it was okay, but I didn't dip it in butter because I didn't want to have the illusion that that's. I'm like I need to just try it, and it was okay. Like would I order it? No. Would I eat it if someone put it in front of me? Yeah.
she tasted
But
it? She wouldn't eat it. She tasted it.
I was 46, 47 years old before I replaced a piece of crab over there. I'm just picky.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I don't think that's a good endorsement.
No.
If I'm stranded on an island,
Good thing
that's when I would eat it.
Good thing I didn't know the name of the restaurant.
What's your? Let's talk about drinks, cocktails, beer. What is your primary go-to?
Yeah, I like heavier beers, red beers as well. Obviously, where I've lived and grown up, get a lot of Canadian pilsners here. Labatt's, Molson, are staples in this area for sure. Recently went to Ireland and was able to experience the difference between Guinness there and Guinness at home. I love Guinness at home, but I think I'm forever broken now. Nothing's going to taste as good as when I was in Ireland.
That isn't that the truth? Like you talk about the seafood being in a certain area, right? Like, hey, it shouldn't. It's Midwest, but you're having a Guinness in North America, but you go to Ireland and you have the real Guinness. It's the best. I don't think that's going to be different from anything. The local, where it was built, where it's from, is going to always be better. I talk about this when I was in Germany with my dad from 9 to 10 years old, 9 to 11 years old, whatever, and they had a beer truck just driving around the neighborhood. And at that age, he'd give me money and then I'd have to go out there and say I wanted this beer. And then I'd carry back this big case and the bottles were like this big and it's warm but you can't have that here. Your kids can't go to the middle of the street and get the beer anymore. But that was probably the best beer that you could have because they're driving around dropping it off. Cocktails. What's your cocktail? Do you have a cocktail?
Yeah. I mean, so rum and Coke gets me in trouble, but so the wife loves putting that in front of me. She likes watching me get in trouble. Our national commanders educated me quite a bit over the last couple of years on bourbon. So I've been experimenting there. I'd probably still dollar for dollar rather spend my money on beer, but
me too.
I'm getting there.
Me too. Babe, what's your favorite cocktail?
I am anything with coconut rum and pineapple juice. It could be a mixture of things as long as those two things are with it as well. I mean, I will drink just Malibu and pineapple or a coconut rum and pineapple juice or a pina colada or, there's a lot. I like rum. I prefer rum. Bourbon, whiskey. I don't even like tequila. The only tequila I drink is the local Mexican restaurant that we go to every Friday night. I will drink their margaritas, but if you go anywhere else, and he's like, get a margarita. Ugh, the tequila. Cough. So rum. I do like rum. So the
I
two
do
of us
coconut
can
and
get
everything when I'm in
together.
tropical. I'm sorry, Carly. In tropical environments, it's all coconut.
Yep.
We love my wife and I both love tequila, but that's why we have 5 kids. So got to be in moderation.
That's a good answer. I do love tequila. I love the taste of hot. I don't like Patron. To me, Patron is not a good. It's a good tequila for margaritas or whatever. But to drink it, I like a very good tasting high-end tequila. Recently, I've gotten into old fashions but not just any old. It's got to be a real good. A Blanton's Old Fashioned is my number one go-to. And Carrie's, our new whiskey bar that's down the street, they made me a mezcal old fashioned. And that is probably one of the best old fashions I've had in probably 2 years. you know. Well, because that's probably when I started drinking old fashions 2 years ago. What else you got, babe? Got any other questions for Joe?
Yep.
Joe, you got anything that you want to tell? If somebody wanted to donate to you guys, when is your national convention? Anything? Just your minute.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, as I said in the opening there, AMVETS is open to anyone who is honorably served. And that's something that differentiates between us and a lot of the other organizations. And we are, we're fighting hard for veterans in DC. We've got a lot of issues there in Congress. And the way they can support that is either by going to AMVETS.org. We got our donate button up top. But really, we want you, if you're a veteran yourself, join the organization. Congress really does pay attention to how many members we have. And when we go and when I go before Congress and say, these are our priorities, this is what we need you to do, they want to know how many people I'm actually speaking for, because that's what matters to them. So we need you to join us. Just by simply joining us, you'll make a difference for you and your fellow veterans and their families.
Sure. You have AMVETS, you have Sons of, you have the writers?
Yeah, so we have AMVETS is for all of our veterans, and Sons of AMVETS for any male family members of veterans who are not veterans themselves. And we have Ladies Auxiliary for any female family members of veterans. And it could be a granddaughter, it could be a cousin of any veteran. And Congress pays attention to that as well. And we will keep you informed on what's happening in DC and elsewhere in the country so that you can be informed and advocate yourself as well. Then we have AMVETS Riders. We have juniors for any children who are under 18 years old. So we're really, we call it the AMVETS family. And when we come together, really are family events. And we have that special bond together that we've either served or we care about someone who has served. And it's a really special group to be part of.
It is a very special group. You guys have one of the best ideas for helping families. What is that? Can you tell people what you're doing?
Yeah, so we're in the final few months here before being able to open the AMVETS Family Services Center. It's just south of Pittsburgh. It'll be the first one. And it's a transition housing center. We bought an old school that was a drain on the local economy and the local government. We bought it from them for auction. We're going to use it to be able to house veterans who are going through crisis. But the catch and what's different about this is these are for veterans who have families. Veterans are experiencing homelessness, they're in crisis. And the way 95% of the homeless shelters out there, they divide the families up by gender. And if you have a single mother, for instance, who's a veteran and she's going through some type of crisis, she's homeless, and she's got a son who's 12 years old, they're going to take that son away from her, and he's going to have to stay in a men's shelter, and she's going to have to stay in the women's shelter. Bad things obviously can happen in that, but on the good side, when the veterans stay together, when the families stay together, the outcomes are much better. So we're very confident this is going to be very helpful. And again, this is going to be the first of what we hope to be many of these family services centers. Again, you can help us build this by coming to AMVETS.org.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you talking about the Midwest not having good seafood.
I didn't say that. Just said if I'm coming to the Midwest, right? I know there's a lot of cows there, right? I'm going to eat some cow, and I will eat my crabs when I get back to Baltimore. Okay.
There you go.
Makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Once we're live right now, but we'll chop this up and make it editable. We'll post it on YouTube. But we appreciate your help, and we will see you later, bud.
Yeah, thank you, Carly. Thank you, Ken. Really appreciate you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Still right?
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I think met him about 1.5 years ago. Of course, we worked. I have worked with the VFW, Legion, and most veteran service organizations out there. That's why I travel a bunch. But if you listen to Joe, he's actually probably one of the most sincerest people and doing some really wonderful and great things out there. So we'll move on to our next segment. I'm going to say, is it loud in here? But there's actually people in here.
Yeah.
So, what did we figure out what this last segment was?
We're going to call it Factless Friday.
Factless Fridays.
Where we're going to go over things that we see on social media. They're not always going to be geared towards us.
But still needs to be
Sometimes
spoken
they're gonna
about. Sometimes not.
Yeah.
So I want to start off because this is what hit my mind this week. We support a lot of organizations. We talk about that, right?
Mhm.
Like just me and you personally
Right.
support the community as a whole because we just want people to be good humans. Just be a good human. Just be a good person. And every nonprofit or everybody out there that asks us to support, I would probably say we do, right?
I wouldn't say every, but we do a lot. And we get asked so much. And it's not just us. Every business in town gets hit up for every organization, every fundraiser. And, and there's not, I mean, there is, but there's not a ton of this. And so it's very hard whenever we're being asked constantly to donate this or that, and, and we do try our best to give something to everyone.
Yeah. So my spiel today is you can't talk crap about us and then
Turn around 20 minutes later and send us a message asking us for a donation.
it's what you did.
We're still going to give it to you. Unfortunately,
It's a good cause.
fortunately, exactly. It's for a good cause, but it fascinates me, the gall.
Yeah.
Like I could never. I wouldn't. I'd make someone else from the organization reach out if that's the case. But we got a request like that, and I wanted to say sorry. We're not doing this. And Kent's like, that is not who we are. We are not. No. And he's 100% correct. That isn't who we are. Of course, we're going to give.
But I think the difference is that if me and you were going to talk shit about somebody or something or some business, we wouldn't turn around and ask them for anything.
Oh no, never.
I don't know. Like you said, it's the gall. Like, why? What in their head thought, hey, I'm going to talk crap about them on Facebook or social media, and then 20 minutes later, let me ask them for some money.
So
like,
it's fast.
Do you think they do that to everybody?
Probably.
But
I don't know. I mean, we seem to be the target more. So I don't know why that is. Is it because we're new? Is it because we're more out there?
More out.
I mean, I'm assuming. I'm sure we would ask. So I know it's a suburban. I know Jason has people that have done. So it just, I don't know that. And something else that gets my goat.
Get your goat.
Is other small businesses, other small business owners, other small business workers.
Yeah, workers.
Going on social media and blasting other small businesses. I'm like, how do you expect, let's say you're another restaurant owner.
Let's say.
And you go and you make a comment on, we'll say on our page and talk about whatever and make it terrible. And then I would never, because there is a local restaurant that not too long ago we frequented.
Yep.
And the wait time was, horrendous.
They were extremely busy.
Yes, they were very busy.
And we had somewhere to go.
Yes. And so it was a very long wait time. There was a lot of gaps in the service and whatever. So we left. We paid the bill for food we did not receive and left. Said nothing, discussed whether or not we were going to reach out to the owner just to talk. And then we were like, you know what? It's sometimes there's just a bad day. So we're just going to let it go. Well, that owner heard and brought us a gift card for pretty much the amount we spent there whenever it wasn't necessary, but we liked that they understood and they saw that we understood. Sometimes it just happened. We did not go last minute social media. We did not do the Google review. Like I said, we discussed that we were going to reach out, and before we had even made a decision, because I was out of town.
Yeah. Before
we had even made a decision, that owner had already reached out to us. Basically, it was like, thank you so much for your support. I'm so sorry, but sometimes it happens.
Well, I want to make sure people know that it's not because we're a restaurant. We would have done that anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not because we own restaurants and we own businesses. We would have done that anyway. In airports, I've done it. We've done it elsewhere when our time constraints are there, and things just happen in life. And I think we spoke about this last time. It's like you get overwhelmed, and it's great for that business, right? But everybody should know that it's a packed place, which it was. Yeah. It was busy. And we understood that. But we actually had a time constraint on us, or else we probably would have just waited it out and say.
And people make mistakes. Like, I'll use this as an example. The other day, I went and bought a pair of shoes from a big store in the Legends area. I went there because the last time I ordered a pair of shoes online, they sent the wrong size and they ended up being the size for like my son. So my son got a new pair of shoes. So I was like, I'm going in because I want to make sure that I get the right shoes and whatever. Tried them on, grab the box, grab another pair. We go up, we check out. The woman opens the box like they do, checks the size, puts it in, not paying attention. We're talking, we pay, we get home. I open the box. Not only is it the wrong size, it's 2 left feet. The wrong size, 2 left feet. I did not call up. I'm taking it back out.
We still have
it right. And yes, but we've been busy. But it's totally an inconvenience. because we don't go, I don't shop much, at least not online, go into places. So it's totally an inconvenience that I have to take this back and I am not going to yell at them. I'm not going to, because maybe, were they busy? Not necessarily, but maybe she was just having a bad day. Maybe she had something else on her mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her. And I don't even know who it was. So I probably won't see the same person. But
Did you put it on social media?
no, I didn't put it on social media. I didn't ask to talk to the owner. It just, I people make mistakes. It's an inconvenience, yes, 100%, but it's not that serious. Like, it's not that serious. And I'm gonna go back to that store and I'm gonna buy more shoes.
Yeah.
But
Why do you think people do that? Why do you think people post that stuff?
what
Not even just you want to go ahead and go out there and give a bad Google review. That's fine. I don't care.
I
right?
mean,
But
yes.
to spend your time to write posts and things like, what do you think they get out of that? Like mentally, like
I
I don't
would
know.
like to understand it. I don't. What I definitely don't understand is the anonymous.
My gosh, they're
I
not
don't understand why you would post something anonymously. But and I don't mind if someone wants to come. I mean, do I think you need to put it on a gossip page or on for City Focus or something like that? Not necessarily. Do I wish you would just reach out to us? I mean,
Yeah.
and we get the Google reviews too. If it I- and we take them serious. If it is a legitimate
Oh yeah.
comment, if it is
Service.
service, if it is the
Food.
food, we take all those and we meet with the staff once a week and we go through all of these reviews and we talk about them and what happened. And sometimes there's extenuating circumstances and sometimes this or whatever. We're not going to reply to the Facebook posts.
No.
We're just not going to do it. I'm not engaging. He's not engaging. The business is not engaging because nothing we say on there is going to matter. It's just going to fuel something else. And 9 times out of 10, whenever they're on these gossip pages or they're on the shared sites, it's not about service. It's not about the food. It's something personal.
Yeah.
So the personal attacks, I also can understand. Like the last
Yeah.
big long one about all the stuff, and they come after my eyelashes. They come after my friend's hips. They come after, I'm like, what does that have to do with the
Vehicles,
business?
work.
Yeah. What, yeah, things we say. What if you have a legitimate complaint about a restaurant, any restaurant, any business, that's different. But whenever you make it personal, then to me, that's not a legitimate complaint, and I'm not gonna address it.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, we're not going to address anything on social media.
No,
anyway.
that's
If we address
that's
it,
not
we're
the
going to start
way.
addressing it here,
Yes,
and we'll
or
talk
to the person
to the
directly. If we
person
know who
directly.
they are, if they're not anonymous, if it's a legitimate thing, we will reach out. But
And when we talk about the Google reviews, we talk about it, and we actually bring, if it's a bad experience, we want to fix it. We actually are bringing those back in and asking them to come back and try it again. And we call them our secret shoppers. What, we got 2 or 3 right now doing that. And you know what? It just keeps our people on their toes, doing the right thing. I used to work at KFC let's think about when I did at KFC, 16 years old. And they had secret shoppers, these big yellow pages, and then they put my name on there and say, here's the food temperature and all that stuff. And that's kind of when I realized that kept them in line, was because there are people doing that. So it's kind of what we're doing, same thing here. But for the last thing that we're going to talk about that I want to say is like, the last comment that I saw was, we were open on 4th of July. One, we will always be open every day, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Consistency rules. There's 2 days that we will not be open, and those are what? Christmas
and Thanksgiving.
and Thanksgiving. So for those individuals that were questioning and the banter about why are they open on 4th of July, I can tell you that there was 21 employees that got paid that day.
There were several other businesses in town that were also open.
Yeah.
Because the small business chatter group that I'm in, they discussed it might not have been all day. They might have closed a little bit earlier or whatever, but there was probably 10 or 15 downtown businesses that opened as well.
Yeah.
Plus Walmart, all the grocery stores, all the gas stations, all the
McDonald's.
yeah, yes, every fast food restaurant. Why is it okay for them to be open, but we can't be open?
Well, and also we had about 400 people coming here throughout that day.
Yeah.
So when you make remarks like that, it kind of just, why don't people just sit back and say, why am I making this comment? Why? Why are you guys open on 4th of July? Maybe because you might be
business,
hungry. Maybe
right?
because there's single soldiers out here or single people or people that's in an area, which we are, 2 miles? I don't know. How far is that, a mile? Probably a mile from Fort Leavenworth itself, who has a ton of schools here, and people are single. They are not with their families. They do want to go somewhere, watch a game, eat some good food, and have a drink, listen to DJ Trent on the ones and twos.
Same with whenever the weather gets kind of questionable outside, most businesses will close and we'll stay open. We'll stay open with the skeleton crew who feels safe. We've got a lot of people that live close enough they walk.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll come in and help out if we can. And
Well, we actually pay for people to come in. Hell, the city owns those 2 big lots right out there, and we actually pay to get those
get them
clean
cleaned up.
so people can
But
walk through.
the amount of people that we have that come in that are so glad that we're open, even whenever the weather is bad, and they're like, "Thank you. We didn't want to cook. We're so glad that there's somewhere that's open." So
Yeah. Peace out.